We all know that the NHL has historically proven to be a copycat league. Every spring, the Stanley Cup is lifted, and 31 general managers and coaches begin taking notes to see what they can learn and adapt to their own team. The New Jersey Devils are a team that is following the Colorado Avalanche's blueprint and are slowly working towards becoming legitimate playoff contenders. Avalanche president of hockey operations Joe Sakic has talked about how his team went from the worst record in the league to Stanley Cup champions in 5 seasons, and it seems that in their case, patience was a virtue. And he says that as bad as it was, we still had Nathan MacKinnon, Gabe Landeskog, Mikko Rantanen. We had the core pieces already, but we knew that it was about time to start building around them. We needed more core pieces around them, so as bad as the 16-17 season was, we still had budding superstars that were ready to take the next leap. We just had to build around them. And so, essentially, the above quote can be easily applied with the Devils core of Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, and Jesper Bratt. With training camp right around the corner, I thought this would be a good time as to explain why New Jersey is on the right track to become Colorado, and I think it starts with comparing their core to the Avalanche. Last season, Devils defenseman Ryan Graves openly compared Nathan MacKinnon to Jack Hughes and Landeskog to Nico Hischier, and if anyone should know, it would be him. The 6'5" blue liner spent the first 3 seasons of his career playing in Denver, and thanks to impending Seattle Kraken expansion draft, he was traded to New Jersey in exchange for Mikhail Maltsev and a second-round pick. Both the Devils and Avalanche have a forward group led by first overall picks. Colorado's elite forward was selected first overall in 2013, which is of course Nathan MacKinnon, while the budding Devil star, which is Jack Hughes, was selected first overall in 2019. MacKinnon took the lead by storm, earning the Calder Trophy in his rookie season. On the other hand, Hughes has been getting better each season, and some believe he is primed for a breakout role in the 2022-23 season. And going forward, as far as leaders, both team captains took on the responsibility at a very young age. Hischier was named captain on February 20th, 2021. At the time, he was 22 years and 47 days old, which made him the youngest captain in the NHL and the second youngest in Devils history. When Landeskog earned the captaincy, he was the youngest player in NHL history to earn the honors at 19 years and 286 days old. When asked about his captain, Avalanche head coach Jared Bednar talked about his leadership-first style. A highly competitive guy that leads the example every time he's on the ice or practice or whatever. He doesn't have to say a lot, but when he speaks to the guys, they're just dialed in. They tune into what he's saying. I think the experience that he has, and even starting as a young captain and the respect he commands in that room, is second to none. The one thing that the Devils head coach Lindy Ruff and general manager Tom Fitzgerald talk about when it comes to Hischier's leadership style is that he leads by example. The young captain has been quoted saying, "I'm more of a leader with action. I like to do the action so that others can follow me. Going to war with brothers with a team, that's what I like about hockey. It's a team sport." Regarding the blue line, Colorado selected Makar 4th overall at the 2017 NHL draft, and at 23 years old, the Alberta native and phenom has already won the Calder Trophy, Norris Trophy, Conn Smythe Trophy, and his first Stanley Cup. In 2021, the Devils selected their own defenseman with the 4th overall pick, a young player by the name of Luke Hughes, who turns out to be Jack's younger brother, and he had quite the year at the University of Michigan, and according to The Athletic, is the second-ranked NHL prospect under 23 years old, behind Owen Power. After the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, Landeskog was asked what NHL teams could take away from the Avalanche's run, and with a laugh he said, "Find a Cale Makar somewhere." Fitzgerald was paying attention because when it came time for the 2022 NHL draft, he selected his own coveted right shot offensive blue liner in Simon Nemec. Can Hughes and Nemec become their own version of Makar? Only time will tell, but in the meantime, there is a lot of promise and excitement surrounding the Devils' 2 defensive prospects. So aside from defense, depth is another huge part of it on the offense that is critical for winning championships, and it's a question that still remains if New Jersey will have that depth that Colorado had this past spring, and the answer is to be determined, honestly, because at the conclusion of the 2022-23 campaign, the Devils have quite a few players who will be restricted and unrestricted free agents. This includes Miles Wood, Yegor Sharangovich, and Jesper Boquist, and the team's depth could look significantly different in the near future, but that may not be necessarily a bad thing. The one positive last season was the play of rookie Dawson Mercer, and the Bay Roberts Newfoundland native showed versatility similar to Rantanen and can be utilized as both a winger and a center. Last season, the 20-year-old played on the top line alongside Jack Hughes, but he also centered his own line when injuries caused holes in the lineup. Fans have seen a small but promising sample size from Mercer, who can easily become a key member of the roster just as Rantanen has done in Colorado. And it looks like the 2021-22 Devils were where the Avalanche were back in 2016-17 because both teams had difficulty playing on the road and were unable to string together a respectable winning streak. Back then, MacKinnon was 21 years old and finished the season with a team leading 53 points. This past season, the Devils saw a 20-year-old Jack Hughes earn 56 points in 49 games, which was a career best for the youngster. After that season, things started to click for Colorado. They qualified for the Stanley Cup playoffs the next season, and even though they lost in the first round, they found a rhythm and soon became a favorite to take home the cup years later. And Tom Gulitti of NHL.com sat down with Nico Hischier this past offseason at the NHL European Player Media Tour and asked his thoughts on the club's new additions. He said, just looking at the roster right now, we feel way more comfortable, we feel confident, and those guys coming in are definitely going to help us with their game style, their experience, and that's something we definitely needed. We did this summer, and that's why the excitement is there to get back to work and see where we're at. Fitzgerald has been adding pieces to complement his core and drafting prospects that will make a significant impact on the club when they are ready to make the jump to the NHL. If everything goes right for New Jersey this season, they should be in the wildcard hunt and could possibly make a return to the postseason for the first time since 2018. But a lot of questions surround their goaltending. But again, if the Avalanche proved one thing this spring is that a team does not need top goaltending to win the cup, the time is really much coming for New Jersey, and the parallels between the club are undeniable. The Devils finally have a core and an impressive supporting cast that includes Andre Palat, Jonas Siegenthaler, and Dougie Hamilton. Fitzgerald understands that building towards long-term success takes time, and he has not been rushing this process. While it can be frustrating for everyone who's involved, it will all be worth it if fans get to see Hischier lift the Stanley Cup in the next few seasons. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.